and welcome to Add More Zest, and my name is Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and you haven't seen me working on this for a while. You have seen the painting itself because I did mention it in my reflections of 2022 and goals for 2023, but I haven't actually worked on it, I think, since I completed that goal. No, I'm on 50.05, which means I haven't touched this since August when I did my mammoth month and got to 50%. But I am aiming for 2023 to be different. And therefore, I am hoping to try and work on this for a section a day. So I thought, let's throw in some extra WIP and chats of me working on this, because that will not only help keep me accountable, but hopefully it will promote me or inspire me, should I say, to get more done in between each WIP and Waffle. So we'll start this off a little bit slower on the basis that I'm actually filming this at the weekend and prefer to get my filming done at the weekend. So I'm filming this before I've had chance to actually work on any sections through the week. So you're seeing the first section. Hopefully by the time this video actually goes live, I would have done a few more. But I figured if I get one done as a WIP and chat, sort of an on camera, give myself a fighting chance. And if I do end up missing a few days, which possibly could happen depending on how busy I get, but if I do end up missing a few days, hopefully I will still have moved along enough by the time it's time for the next WIP and chat. I will have moved, you know, a fair way along, is my hope. So I do have to ignore this section. Let me see if I can zoom it in just a little bit more. Can I still see everything? I think I can. That's still the first section. I'm trying to make sure that I can't see too much of what's around because it highlights things and confuses me. But yeah, I thought let's do a WIP and chat. I've still got some comments from last Sunday's WIP and chat. I've actually got a couple that have come through early doors from this Sunday's WIP and chat, because I'm filming this on a Sunday evening. I was actually, I'm just going to move my case over here because I think it might be easier. I was thinking of filming this in the week, and I was like, no, let's just film it in the week and actually have got a bit done. And then I was like, I know how busy my evenings have been the last few weeks. They have been so busy, which has been great and I've really enjoyed it, but they have been busier. That if I have an evening off, I like to be able to sit and diamond paint, not to say, oh, I need to go and film a WIP and chat. I find my week runs a lot smoother if I do get all my YouTube videos done at the weekend. It means I don't have to think about that element as much. It's like one thing off my to-do, and that's probably what didn't help last week, was not getting everything done. It meant there was days that I did miss out on videos because of it. So I decided that you guys can join me for my first section since August on my big Heaven and Earth designs, and hopefully by the time I have a video up next week, I will have got further along. That's the aim, and that is the goal. Say, my goal is a very big one. My master goal is a very big one, which is to try and finish this Heaven and Earth design by the end of the year. My mini goal is to have got a load more of it done by the end of the year. So let's see which one I make it to. But yeah, I have kind of missed working on this. Seeing when I was in Australia, my mum is working on the same one. So seeing hers fully set up on her desk and her just dip into it and doing, she does one square at a time, but she'll often get 1 or 2 little sections done per day. And just seeing her being able to nip over and do a bit is like, I need to set mine up. And I think that's it. When I pack the diamonds away, and I say pack the diamonds away, pop the cases on the shelf, and when I roll up the diamond painting and pop it in my Kallax, it can be so easy to forget. And I think that's just what stops me doing it. So I am trying not to forget this diamond painting this year, and it would be absolutely delightful to see it finished. Somebody did check and said it was 3 years ago that I started this. So I think this diamond painting has been going on long enough. It has run its course, and I am not the only one that would like to see it finished. That's for sure. So we'll see how far we can get. I think I worked out when I did my August section a day. I need to do the full maths to know, but I think it was naught. Oh, that's not a very good diamond. You can go. And of course I forgot to bring a trashy in. I was too busy motivating myself to make sure that I get this done this evening, knowing how much better I'll feel once it's done. What was I saying? Yeah, 0.4%. Well, actually, it's a little bit less than 0.4%, but it rounds it up. No, is it 0.4 or 0.04? 0.04% per section. So I do need to see how many sections it will take me to complete this painting. In fact, I can do the maths by stitches. So my stitches are going down, but let's do the maths. This is just going to make this WIP and Chat a little bit longer, but this does tell me my stitches. So if I go, that's how many completed. Okay, so it's 75,000. And when I say stitches, it is diamonds. Still need to go on this painting. 75,000. I do 600 per section. So if I divide that by 600, that is not as bad as I thought. It's achievable, which is always good to know. So I need to complete 125 sections. So that is not even, that was not even half the year. It's less than half the year if I actually did it per day. So if I divide that again by 30, it's just over 4 months to be able to complete this doing a section a day. I think that's achievable. I hope you guys agree that that is achievable. I'm not expecting to do it in 4 months. I am expecting days where I don't do it. And when I set, in effect, this goal, The idea was that I will aim to do a section per day. However, if for any reason I don't complete a section, then I will forget that section for the day and move on to one section for the next day. So it won't roll over. If it rolls over, I fear that, you know, as soon as you start getting too many behind, so, you know, when it might be 3 days on the run, you don't get to do it. And then when you go to do it, you're like, well, I've got to do 4 sections today. It's just enough to make me not want to do any, because I'd have to do 4. There may be some days that I actually sit down to do it, more so a weekend. I might sit down to do a section and go, do you know what? I'm going to do a second section. I'm enjoying myself. And that's fine. But I don't want it to become too much of a chore. I want to enjoy the process, but I also want to finish the project because it has gone on for far too long. So 125 in a year that has 365 days, ignoring the fact that a lot of them have gone already. 20 odd of them have gone. But 125 days out of, it's not even been, so out of 330, rounding it, out of 330 days in the year, even if you take off a few more days for holidays, etc., you know, it's still a good ratio. It's still a very good ratio. So that's probably helped. I did wonder if working out how many sections I needed to do would be helpful or a hindrance. It's actually helped. 125 in a year is perfectly acceptable. And if I do get more than one section done, especially in this sort of beginning of the year, then all the better. You know, while it's in effect new to me, not done it since August, I'm hoping I'll have a few days where I feel the urge to do more than one section. I might create myself a little tally chart. Now I know it's only 125 sections. I don't know whether to create myself a little 125 section tally chart where I mark it off each time I finish a section. That might be another little bit of motivation. Seeing it go down. I think seeing it go down is better than adding something. So I could do a tally where I added a sticker, for example, to a piece of paper each time I completed a section, but that wouldn't necessarily show me how many I had left unless I did a whole grid. So I think I might do something where I mark down 125 and cross off each section as I do it. I'll have a look and see if I can do myself a little grid thing or something similar when I finish this WIP and chat. Because yeah, I love crossing things off a list as well. I'm currently using like an electronic sort of to-do list type thing for a few different aspects of my life, and I love telling it it's done, saying, okay, you're done, go away. But yeah, I love my paper lists as well. So when I'm doing my YouTube videos, for example, they are always written down on a paper list of what I need to do for each channel, and I love crossing them off when they are done. And I think that's what's motivated me to start this video, knowing full well that I will be able to cross it off my list, and in turn my list will be done for this week's YouTube. there is either a video up on this channel or there's a video up on my second channel, which is Add More Zest with Diamonds. There's a couple of really nice unboxings over on that channel on the days that I don't have one on this channel. So you will find a video on one channel or another every day this week, and long may it continue to be every day. But yeah, somebody did also mention it was on another video about my tips and tricks videos. That is another thing that is on my list. Hopefully I'm going to get to that very soon. I do want to start them, or finish them off, should I say, finish off my 100 tips and tricks very soon. But I also want to make sure that I have the rest of them and I know what I'm doing, because otherwise I feel like I will start it and then I will not have the rest of the ideas ready and there, and that will make me stop again, and it could end up being too long before they come back. So my plan is to spend, you know, a few hours a day, whatever it may be. I'm going to allocate a day for it, because there's quite a few things that I need to source for some of the tips and tricks that I want to do. Yeah, so I'm going to try and get them all finalised, get them all collated, and make sure that they are all ready to go before I start actually doing the videos, so that I can get them all done and not stop and start again. But to let you know, that is on my radar. I've just got so many things on my radar, so many things that I want to do, and it's amazing how quick a day goes. It really can go quite quick. Today went really quick, so I actually don't quite feel it's as late as it is today, because we went out for Sunday lunch with my hubby, his two sisters, his brother and their significant others. So there was 8 of us that all went out for Sunday lunch today, and we went out at about 2, and I think we got home, it was after 4:30. So it's been a very weird sort of day. 2 doesn't feel too late, but then by the time you're finished and you get back home and you're like, oh, where did the day go? So it doesn't quite feel as late as it probably is for me at the moment, but that's okay. I didn't have many videos that I needed to finish filming today. I got most of them done yesterday. I'm trying to work out where that one was then. Lonely little green one hiding. Let's see where the next... I know I've got a few colours that there is actually quite a lot of on this one. Then we have a batch of zeros. Okay, we're on to my next case. So case number 2. It is easier when I bring the cases over here, that's for sure. Don't need too many tipping out. So yeah, comments or questions. Now we've talked about Heaven and Earth design, and I've cheered myself up with there only being 125 sections. 124 by the end of this video. It'll be nice to get it to below 100. That'll be my first goal. Can I get it to below 100? In theory, I should be able to do that within the next, well, it's just over 3 weeks, isn't it, doing a section a day. So by the end of Feb, I should have it under 100. If I can get it done sooner, all the better. That'll probably be my little drive. I did have a drive on this top section to get it to 50% completed. So maybe it'll be good to drive myself to get it below 100. And then, yeah, go for the next goal and keep going until it's completed. Oh, got one of my hairs. A hair off my head floating about. Okay, we've got a nice big section of this number now, which is good. I feel like there's real progress. So Lisa, she said, welcome back, Rebecca. She said she was so glad to hear that I had a good time in Australia. She said if it took you 24 hours to get to Australia, she said she wonders how long it would take her from the middle of the USA. Less, I think. I think it's less from the US to Australia. You're definitely closer than we are, but I'm not sure how long a flight it would be. I just know that it's a 24-hour flight. You know, anything over a couple of hours, you just have to resign yourself that you're just going to be on a plane for a while. You have to not think about it to survive it. I think that's the thing. You just have to not think about it and you'll be able to survive it. Because if you think about it too much, it just becomes a fact. No, I don't want to do that. Whereas if you don't think about it, you just get on with it. Like many things in life. If you think about it too much, you can make too big a deal out of it, which means you don't actually end up doing it. And it's definitely that way with the flight. I don't think about the flight. Even when I book the flight, I don't think about the flight. Nellie says hi. She says, and she also says welcome home. She says she's pleased that I enjoyed my holiday. Thank you, Nellie. I did. It's actually weird thinking about how long I've been back, because it feels like it's been ages, but it's also not been that long. I suppose I've just, been able to, after the first few days of feeling tired, I've been able to just get back into the swing of home life easier, because of course it's what you know. And while I do miss having Carrot in the house and I miss seeing family, it's also really nice to be home as well. Though I do prefer their weather, that's for sure. But when we did come out of said meal this afternoon at about 4:30, it was still daylight. So there is progress in the UK. It was still light at 4:30. Albeit it didn't stay light for long, but it was light at 4:30. Which, is shows signs that spring is on its way. Albeit slowly, but it's on its way, and I can't wait because I love spring. I think it's my favourite season because it brings the end of winter, and it's just fresh. I think that's why I like it. It's not cold fresh, it's warm fresh, whereas autumn is cold fresh. If that makes any sense to anybody apart from me. Anne, she says, welcome home, Rebecca. Thank you, Anne. She also says, it sounds like I enjoyed myself, which I definitely did. She said, great waffle today, she says, and get all the rest you need, she says, to recover from your jet lag. Thank you. I'm definitely recovered from jet lag now, and I think I did mention it in that WIP and Waffle, I do feel now like I'm also over the sort of that little layer of tiredness that I don't think you realise still lingers until you come out of the other side of it. Sometimes you can have, I don't know, just a bit where it just takes you a while to feel like you're fully functioning and full of get up and go. But I definitely feel like we're more so full of get up and go now, that's for sure. Which is always good. I keep changing which way I'm doing these diamonds, whether I'm going across or whether I'm going up. And I vary it sometimes just so it can be a little bit different. But this is getting a nice chunk of them done here. If I get a few more sections like this when I'm doing it through the week and even at the weekend, that is probably going to spur me on to do another section. I say more so at the weekend than through the week, but I think there's nothing like a nice section that seems to be done quite quickly to make you feel like doing another one is feasible. We shall see. I'm definitely going to do myself a little tick chart though. A little tick chart, or maybe a little colour in the box, just something basic that I will be able to see my progress, because I think that will definitely make a huge difference with me. And then again, if it's a piece of paper that's floating about as well with it on, then I'll be motivated by the fact that the piece of paper will be able to go once it's finished. As much as I'll be motivated by the fact that diamond painting will be done. And then I can just concentrate on my smaller one. And I think if I've only got my smaller Heaven and Earth design, my mini beautiful light, I think if I just had my smaller one on the go, it would be easier to definitely pull that out once a month. I think because I've always got the thought of which one should I be doing. Oh, if I do this one, then I'm not doing the one that I started first. I think that can sometimes, you know, I feel as though I'm not really getting anywhere with it because I feel guilty doing the smaller one when the bigger one's not finished. So, yeah, it'll be good. Be good to get it done. What other comments have we got? Mops the Tops, she said, welcome home, Rebecca. She said, great to hear about your holiday. She says, and jet lag tips. Yeah, stay awake until early bedtime. That's basically all I can suggest to you. If you drink coffee, it helps loads. But stay awake till between 7 and 9. The whole not sleeping on a plane, that's just me. I can't sleep if I want to. On a plane, I often get very, very small little cat naps. And that is just my body saying you have no choice, you need to sleep, rather than it being something I can control. But yeah, no matter how tired you are, let the adrenaline of arriving somewhere stay awake until the most, you know, a reasonable or slightly early bedtime wherever you are, and then sleep through till, you know, you wake up and think, okay. And some people will just wake up at 3 a.m. and things, but I try to just look at my phone, and if it's an unreasonable time like 3 a.m, I try to just turn over, you know, and let my brain say 3 a.m. isn't a suitable time to get up, and hopefully go back to sleep. But when it comes to 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm happy getting up then when I'm away and just doing earlier nights and earlier mornings. And eventually you get to a little bit later and later each night, and sometimes you get to the point of a little bit later and later each night as well. Later each night and later each morning. And before you know it, you're not getting out of bed because you're on your holidays. She says she's just watching you tonight. She says all her diamond painting stuff is packed away in boxes for a home move on Friday. Well, I hope your home move went well. All the best with the move. I can imagine that is a very busy time for sure. Busy upheaval time. Take it one step at a time. Try and enjoy the process as much as you can. You know, when you move, all the newness of things, even if it's not, you know, something that's brand new, it's new to you. So all that newness, all the organisation of where things go, as you know, try and focus on those bits rather than the upheaval. Get your bedroom ready first, followed by your craft space. Maybe squeeze the kitchen in there. But yeah, try and get bits of your life straight, step by step. Says me who hasn't moved for years and wouldn't even want to move one room in this house, never mind the whole lot. Tammy, she says, welcome home, Rebecca. She says she hopes that my vacation was relaxing. She says enjoying the waffle today and she's looking forward to the next. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the fact that this is the third waffle this week. I can tell I've had more energy in the fact that I've done 3 waffles this week. I know you guys like a good whip and waffle. I did need to fit in discussing the Advent, and I thought that was best in its own waffle, in its own right. And so why not diamond paint while discussing it? And then, of course, this Heaven and Earth design waffle. I'm hoping to do the similar to what I did in August and try and fit in effect, an extra waffle per week. I might still film it at the weekend though. So like I'm filming this on the Sunday after the last waffle's gone up, but it's not going up until Thursday. So I'm filming this a few days before. But I think that's the best way for me to be sure to get extra waffles in. Show you the progress of my Heaven and Earth designs. And you'll still have a week between each one. And it'll give me a chance to mop up any extra comments from the whip and waffle before. Or of course just waffle about something new. So yeah, enjoy the extra waffles. Mops the Tops. She also says, well, and you and I are different travellers. She says she loves flying. She says, and she has packed her paint gem box all ready to do. Woohoo. I don't mind flying. I really don't have a problem with aeroplane flying as such. The 24-hour flight to Australia is grueling. It is long. It's a 14-hour flight and a 7 to 8 hour flight. So it's 2 very long flights back to back. And even, I know some people do stop off in places in between. But to me, that just drags the flight out. You feel like you've finally recovered and then you've got to get on another one. I'd rather just get it all over and done with in one hit. But no, I love the actual flying. It's just the length of the flight and the length sitting in the seat that gets me. But yeah, actual flying, I don't mind. It's just a long one. It's a long, long one. Helen says it's lovely to hear that I had a good time. Thank you. And Sarah B, she says, welcome back, Rebecca. She says she's happy to hear that I had a great trip. She said she was stressing out, she says, and laughing for you. when you mentioned that your containers popped open mid-flight. Yes, my dreaded paint gem. It actually took me a couple of days after landing in Australia to even want to face sorting out the colours so that I could do an odd little bit of diamond painting. Jet lag is definitely something that affects my diamond painting. When I have jet lag, I don't feel like doing it anywhere near as much as, oh, don't need that many, anywhere near as much as I do when I don't have jet lag. She says, what a mess. She says she can't even imagine. It was fun. She says she's also excited to hear about some of the upcoming videos you have planned. She says she's looking forward to all of them. And I am just sorry that most of them weren't there last week like I planned. But be rest assured, I mean, we're a few days in, but Advent framing, the framing of my Advent calendar is coming tomorrow. It is scheduled for tomorrow, and as I'm filming this, I can tell you it is framed. It is framed and it has been done, and I will be, when I finish my editing alongside this video, I will be popping the pictures up of my mum's Advent decorations on the end of the video, so you'll see them after I've said bye to you all. So yeah, that'll all be coming as well. She says she didn't hear me mention a video to discuss the Advent. This was one I did read out. I read out some of the comments on last Sunday's WIP and Waffle. This is the full comment. But yeah, I have now done a WIP and Waffle on the Advent. It actually went up on Tuesday, I think. Yeah, Tuesday. So while I don't have the physical items to show you all that were in the Advent, I do discuss them all and I do show you ones where I can. So if you want to know what was in our Advent calendar, check out my Advent Waffle from Tuesday. And that will let you know what was in everything. Right, I'm definitely onto my next box. Trying to find my next colour. Sometimes I do feel like I tap through so many of these colours just to get my next one. Okay, let's get the next box. 934. And it's quite a way into the next box. Let's see if I can get one out this way. I only need a little one. I'm waiting for my next big block of a colour. And I'm waiting for my battery to go off. I need to change it. So if it cuts me mid-sentence. So yeah, Sarah did say she just wanted to mention the Advent again in case it got lost. And it did. I forgot, I will say. I did forget to do full discussion of it. But I have now done a dedicated full WIP and Waffle all about the Advent and the items that were in our Advent calendar and the reasons behind some of the choices. So those that weren't able to get one. At least the battery didn't cut me off totally mid-flow. At least I don't think it did. For a nice change. 976. I'm pretty sure one of these, this circle symbol, is one of the last symbols in this chart. But I have a few odd bits in between. So let's get those marked off. It's amazing how many different numbers end up being in each section that I'm going to do. It always surprises me how many symbols. It's like they managed to squeeze so many more symbols in than you initially see. But it does make for a stunning picture. Susan, she said, it is so good to have you back. Thank you, Susan. She said she's loved today's WIP and Waffle. She said she was hoping that you'd tell us about the trip. She says she's looking forward to everything you talked about. She said she does think that life is all about revamping, so it's a never-ending battle. That's for sure. I'm forever, adapting things to make sure that they work for me and, present lifestyle, present way of working. And you can never, always predict everything that you're going to need and every way of organising. And a way that you organised in the past that was perfect is never a way that is always going to do you for the rest of your life. Because we just have different parts of our life, different cycles of life. She says she's working on another confetti painting. She said, so basically she is single placing the whole thing. She said it has been relaxing. Well, that's good, as long as you enjoy it. She says she's off to watch the de-kitting of the Advents that went up. Welcome home, she says, and thanks so much for sharing. I like varying up my, the style of painting that I do. As much as I love doing a painting that is a blocky colour, I also love it when I then have a painting that is confetti. There is something really nice about being able to mix it all up and flip between one and another. Okay, 3, 3, 6, 4. There we are. Some gorgeous greens in this painting though. Absolutely gorgeous. Try and get that one. The one at the bottom I had this symbol. This sort of tick done symbol pops up in the place of it. Just wanted to make sure I got that one marked off. And then I'm hitting on numbers that I have none of anyway. A lot of these I think are going to be in my last box. A lot of these symbols I recognise, but if I don't press on every single one, there is going to be an odd random symbol in there that I completely forget about. Okay, I do need my last box. So let me grab it from the bottom, and I actually zip this one up. When I was rearranging my craft items into our bedroom, I did zip up one of these because I was trying it on its side as well as flat, but I did decide to keep them all flat and stacked on top of each other, which has been a whole lot easier because I don't have to zip up the cases, and especially now I'm doing a section a day, I won't zip up the cases in between. I'm going to leave them on my dining table to annoy me is what I'm going to do, in the hope that it makes me complete it. Crystal says, welcome home. She says she's so glad to see me again. She says she bets that Luna was over the moon when I walked in the door. Yes, Luna was extremely excited. There was a different level to her excitement, I believe. I don't think she couldn't quite believe it, I think, at first. But yeah, she was very excited. And, oh, I thought I'd put one in the wrong place, but no, I was just looking in the wrong place. Yeah, she was extremely excited. I mean, she does get excited when I come out from filming. So as soon as I go back into the conservatory after filming this video, there will be a level of excitement. But yeah, I think she was just a little bit more excited than normal. And now definitely doesn't like it when I leave, because I think she might think I'm leaving for even longer. But there's definitely been a few times I've gone out now and she's realised I do come back, so hopefully the scars from Australia will have faded. Apparently she did mope about for a little bit. Bless her. She got over herself enough. Didn't put her off her food or anything. Right, let's see. Oh, another batch of zeros. I like getting to my batches of zeros. And I can sort of de-kit as I go along as well with this one. Yeah, it would be nice to de-kit this painting as I go along, because I would not like to de-kit this in one foul swoop. 239 colours is a bit too much. So just in case you were thinking that video may be coming up, no. That is far too much for even me to de-kit in one. I think I even kitted this up over the course of a few videos. So I will be de-kitting as I notice if a number goes to 0 on my little tally, then it will be de-kitted and it will be put away. Susan says, welcome home, she says, and a happy new year. She says she can't imagine being on a 24-hour flight. Yeah, you need to not imagine it. It's the easiest way to get through it. She says, that must be exhausting. She says, but it sounds like you had a wonderful time visiting your family. She said, so that makes it worthwhile. It does. It's what makes me get on the plane again and again, is the fact that I get to go and visit family. But yeah, get the actual plane itself, while perfectly fine, is long. She says, hearing you waffle about it is so enjoyable. Thank you, Susan. Elise says, hey, she says, how good is chocolate ripple cake? Chocolate ripple cake is amazing. It's just, I think we actually had some that we went to top it with like a peppermint cream. And for the first section, we only did a light sprinkling of peppermint cream. So you did end up getting hold of a chunk that didn't have any peppermint cream in it. And it's not the same without it. I love it with the peppermint cream. Just gives it such gorgeous mint taste. She said she made one for Christmas. She said, and it's definitely a winner in their house. She says, as an Aussie, she says you can add a bit of vanilla essence. We did that. We added vanilla essence and a little bit of caster sugar as well. When I did it at my sister-in-law's, we added a bit of icing sugar to it. She says, and then you can top the cake with whatever you want. She says people make all kinds of shapes. She says like Christmas trees for Christmas. And then cover the trunk with like flakes of chocolate, or use food colouring for the cream and add cheeky little treats to decorate. She said some of them are amazing. Yeah, I can see how you could, you know, do loads of different things to chocolate ripple cake and it still tastes so nice. But what I also love is the fact that you can just do the basic and it's absolutely gorgeous. But definitely try a full peppermint cream chocolate bar, just grated up / broken up over the top of the chocolate ripple cake. Gives it a gorgeous mint flavour, which was divine. She says, thank you for the update on international orders. She said she knows how amazingly quickly you guys work. She said so she gathered that her order was either on hold due to you having jet lag and needing to get into a routine. She says after being on holiday, she says, but nope. No, I was definitely over jet lag enough to be able to deal with shop launch. I knew that giving myself a week, while I may not be full energy, I was definitely energy enough to be able to deal with launch. It's just raw mail. As I'm filming this on a Sunday, I don't have any more updates than what we have already posted on our page, but I hope to goodness that by today they have all gone out. We have been looking at even more couriers over this weekend to see if we can find any couriers that can give us a reasonable price for taking the lighter weight parcels. But we're not finding one at the moment. But believe me, we are still looking for any deals, any couriers that, you know, may be worth a try. But we're also crossing every finger and every toe that by the time this video goes out, Royal Mail have sorted themselves out, and this pile of parcels that I have here has left the building, and I can breathe again. I can breathe a lot easier when they have all gone. She says, hope you enjoyed your holiday in Australia and hope you managed to settle back into normal life okay. She says, and wasn't feeling too sad. Oh, thank you. There are definitely elements and times that I do feel sad, but at the same point, I think FaceTime has made things so much easier than it used to be pre-FaceTime and organised calls and you know, I used to have like a call, an international call package where we used to have to dial this other number before I could then dial my mum and dad's and speak to them. FaceTime makes things so much easier. We can still text message like we're in the same country. You know, there's enough time to be able to FaceTime. It just needs to be morning or evening. It's just, you know, it's not worth doing in the afternoon because one of us is asleep somewhere. But apart from that, it's very easy to keep in touch now. FaceTime has made a world of difference. So much better. Billy said she's commented on last week's WIP and Waffle. Week before last. Sunday before last WIP and Waffle. She said it's January the 20th and she said she is finally able to diamond paint and watch the WIP and Waffle. She said she got back from their trip to Florida Disney World on the 14th. Ooh. She said she came down with COVID. Words. COVID on the 16th and 17th. She said, thanks, Mickey. Oh. She said, so glad you had a nice holiday. She said, and she is loving the colours in the diamond painting. So that was Vivian Fox that I was working on at that point. She says she's back to working on Mrs. Poppy Hair from Diamond Art Studio UK. She said she still needs to take loads of breaks, but she's hoping she's on the mend. She said best of luck to add more zest in 2023. Well, thank you, Billy, and I do hope you are feeling better. Tiredness from COVID is one of the longest things to get over, that's for sure. And you think you're over it, but you don't quite feel right or not as full energy as you used to. A bit like I felt with jet lag, to be honest. Not quite full battery. That's the word. Not quite full battery, but also not feeling ill. So yeah, hopefully that will ease. I definitely started feeling a lot better as soon as I was happy to diamond paint. I felt like it was a lot easier to let a little bit, you know, of the world go by diamond painting. Just checking I'm getting that in the right place. That's my next section. So I need to get my numbers back up the tippy top. Yeah, so hopefully you are feeling so much better, Billy, by the time this video goes up, which is a few days later. But if not, just take it easy and know it might take a while for the tiredness to go, but it will go. Or at least it did for me. And I feel so much better for it now. But thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully by the time I have another Heaven and Earth design video next week, I will be further along, and we'll see if I also manage to get a little tip chart done and we can count down how many sections I have to do until I've finished. But we are now on 124 left to do, so I can do this, especially with you guys coming along with me for most of it. But I think we all know that this project needs to be put to bed. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.